Do you think, and I don't want to talk about areas that maybe would cause any problems for you with your specific work and so on, but could you make some suggestions, or do you see some suggestions that could be perhaps considered or implemented within our legal system, in our court system, in our state laws, our family code, that could possibly help stop the destruction of families? Or is that something that you don't want to necessarily go into?
Well, with the courts and the legislative, of course, I would encourage, courts that if there's an opportunity for reconciliation, to encourage resources for that. And of course, outside that is, the churches and the community systems to encourage people to stand strong. And as the community values marriage, values relationships, the legislature is going to reflect that.
Right.
And it starts with you and I.
Right.
I mean, I know that comes back to a grassroots thing, but if we want healthy relationships, it's got to start with you and I.
Right.
We've got to value it ourselves.
Right.
We've got to, and the legislation and the courts will reflect that.
Yeah. There have been people that I've talked with, senators and others, and one of the things they say, well, this is the ministry of the church, and I've said, I agree that a lot of this stuff is the ministry of the church, but our laws enable these things that cause devastation. And if I look at some of the laws, I say they violate constitutional principles, they create inequities, they create problems and conflicts that someone like you and what you do have to come in and help overcome and solve. So I appreciate everything that you're saying, and I know that the church, especially the church, from my perspective, if we are not addressing the issues of our family, what are we doing? But at the same time, I think as Christians as well, we have a moral obligation to try to live in a society that has policy in place and laws and policies that would support families and laws that would help to keep families together, strengthen them, instead of sometimes just needlessly permitting their destruction. And but that's just my commentary. You don't need to say anything about that. I appreciate what you're doing to try to, in the midst of the devastation, like you said, here's a starfish that I'm throwing back into the sea. Here's a family. The next person in need is the next person in line. So I've heard as well that you've been involved not just with this, but that you are involved in other events or helping to facilitate them. There's a documentary, for example, Erasing Family, that's coming to Dallas pretty soon. Did you have anything to do with?
Well, I'm hoping to. I haven't been able to screen the whole movie. I'm hoping to be able to see that so that I can speak more intelligently on the movie. And I've heard some good things about it. But I want, when I get to see it, I want to do that. And of course, I'm all about strengthening marriages, strengthening families.
Right.
And as we do that, then I think we can make a big push to helping alleviate all the problems as we strengthen families and such as that.
I haven't seen the final cut of the movie. I have seen parts of it. I'm looking forward to it coming, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to start talking about these issues. From what I've heard from others, whether people agree with everything that the movie says or not, at least it's opening the conversation up with legislators, with judges, with attorneys, and with churches perhaps too, and among individuals, especially the people that have gone through this. But anyway, well, thank you for the time that you've given me here.
You bet.
I didn't know anything about your story. I just met you an hour ago. It sounds like what you're doing here is tremendous, and we're at what is it, the Hills?
The Hills Church, yeah.
The Hills Church. So I want to just say that I've never been to the Hills Church except for today. I'm so glad that the church is also looking at this as well. And you're out here at the Hills Church every Saturday, is that correct?
No, once a month.
Once a month. So if people that were in this area said, we need help in co-parenting, or maybe one person says, I need help, or whatever, how do they contact you? Because you've obviously have been a resource to many people.
Right. They can call NewDay Services by giving them a phone call at 817-926-9499, or we have a presence on the internet. We have our website, newdayservices.org. So
Okay.
there's plenty of ways to get a hold of us.
When you say NewDay Services, it's NEWDAY?
Services with an
Services with
S.org.
an S.org. Okay. Yeah. With the spelling these days, you never know if it's NEWNUNUE.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to make sure we had that. Anyway, thank you so much. My friend Paul over here, he was the one that told me about you being here, and I just want to say thank you for what you do for families. Hope that many join you. And I hope that some people actually say, you know what he's doing, I can do. The amazing thing that I've found is that many people that are making changes maybe they had almost no qualifications to be the person. I'm not talking about you, but I mean, I'm just saying that, you're like, okay, I've got to do something. It's like that one song, Lord send somebody. Well, I'm somebody. And that's the same with that I felt, like, okay, somebody should be doing something. Well, I guess I'm somebody. When I worked for the Santorum campaign in 2012, there were people, he talked afterwards, people would ask him, well, Rick, what should I do? What can I do? And he would just say, well, I don't know, do something. And I said, well, I can do something.
Yeah.
That's a pretty low bar. I can do something. And you never know where that something is going to take you. I'm sure that when you started doing your something, you never knew it would lead to what you're doing right now.
Well, everybody has a neighbor that needs an ear.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.